if you don't already know this exercise, you want to get onto it. What we're going to do is we're going to play in the second position, that is first finger over the second fret and then one finger per fret. We're going to start on the second fret of the 6th string. We're going to continue that all the way up. Until we get up to the top. And when we get up there, you move your whole hand up a fret. That includes your thumb on the back of the neck. Everything comes up a fret. Ideally, you'll be practicing this even slower than what I'm doing, because we're going for really tight transitions between the notes. So you continue that upwards until you get as high up on the neck as you feel comfortable. And then you want to start reversing it. So say you get up to here. Then you would play it down. Don't play it this fast. It's useless to play it this fast, because what we're doing is we're trying to play it really slowly, get everything under control, get a really nice, smooth and even crossover from one note to the next, especially when we go from one string to the next. What you'll find as you get up to the 3rd string, 4th and 3rd string, the 2nd string, is that you get sympathetic resonance. Hear all of that? Sympathetic resonance, what you want to do is you want to mute that. So when you get up to that, you can mute it with your left hand fingers, or you can mute it with your right hand. You can go. You see, I'm moving my palm mute across as I get down the strings. And what that does is it mutes any other string, so you don't get any. You don't get any of. You don't get any of that. The other thing that it does is it trains your fingers to sit on each fret, and it also trains you to quickly move position and to not let your thumb. See, sometimes people, when they move position on the guitar neck, their thumb will stay in the same spot as the fingers go up. If you do this exercise, you'll gradually move up the strings. You'll notice if your thumb's getting stuck back there because it'll fall behind, and then you'll be playing like this. You quickly get very uncomfortable. So you'll notice if you're doing that, which you don't want to do. And when you use the metronome, I'd probably set it to something really slow, like 50 beats per minute. You want to practice getting every note the same volume. You don't want any notes to be short. You don't want that sound. You don't want any bleed over. Just generally you want to have control over all of your notes, be able to do them all perfectly even and in time with the metronome. So that exercise will help you spread your fingers, one finger per fret, over any position of the neck. See, when you get further up, the frets get closer together. Another thing that you can do is you can practice scales in this same approach. So one finger per fret, and we'll play a G major scale. And then if you want to learn that scale all over the neck, you move up to the Dorian, starting on the second note of that scale. And because the Dorian is a minor scale shape, if we're playing one finger per fret, then we'll start on the first finger. You see, so you can get your 1, 2, 3 of the scale with your first, third and second fingers. So you play your A Dorian. Now we'll do a brief position change for these two strings. And then back up. You see that? So 5th position, 4th position, and your thumb moves back with it when you. And then the next mode, starting on the third note, is the B Phrygian mode. For those of us who don't know modes, you've never heard of Dorian or Phrygian, basically modes of the major scale are just playing through a major scale but starting on a note other than the first note. So you have a different sounding scale starting on each note of the major scale. Our next mode is the C Lydian scale. And this all fits in the same C Lydian scale. You can think of a Lydian scale as a major scale with a sharp 4. The next mode we've got is the D Mixolydian scale. And the Mixolydian scale is like a major scale with a flat 7. So position change, come up a fret. The next mode is the E Aeolian mode, also known as the natural minor. Position change down and back up. And finally, we have our Locrian mode, F sharp Locrian. Now the Locrian mode is played in the same position as the major scale just above it. So we play G major in the same position, but just starting on a different note, starting with the second finger instead of the first finger. And the major scale is also known as the Ionian mode. So the first mode of the major scale is Ionian. Second mode is Dorian. Third mode is Phrygian. Fourth mode is Lydian. Fifth mode is Mixolydian. Sixth mode is Aeolian or natural minor. Seventh mode is Locrian. And then back to the first mode, the Ionian. Now when you get up really high on the neck, like here, it's a little bit artificial to be using one finger per fret. You might be doing something more like this. You might be moving down to 3 fingers over 4 frets. So we know that G major scale all over the neck now, or that's one way to play it all over the neck. You can also identify where all the G notes are. Out of tune. And just learn how to play, you know. Just learn how to play around with the major scale coming off those G notes all around the place, and try to stick within a position where possible. What I see a lot of beginner and intermediate guitar players do is to move out of positions unnecessarily, or also to try and keep their hand in a position as the notes are actually moving out of that position. And so the thumb will be gripping the back of the neck and the fingers will be moving up or down on the neck. And so then you sort of like lose your balance and you lose your finger angle. You end up losing your place on the guitar neck. If you play in positions where possible, keeping one finger per fret and then moving to another position whenever that's not possible, rather than just stretching up to that next note again and again and again, that will help you keep your position a lot better on the guitar neck. And a book that I would recommend working through is this Berklee method for guitar, a modern method for guitar, book 1. I went through this book when I was in high school, and you may find it very tedious to learn all the exercises in there, especially if you feel like you can play a lot of songs. You can play pretty pretty nice stuff. You might feel that this is a little bit kindergarten, but it's actually not. It teaches you how to read music. It teaches you how to look at a piece of music written on a staff and find a logical place on the guitar neck to play it. I think there's at least 5 of these volumes, but I've only really worked through the first one, and there's enough material in the first one that it'll give you a really good foundation for your playing, and it'll take long enough just to get through the first book that you don't worry about buying the second book yet. Thanks for watching this guitar lesson. For more of the same, subscribe, hit the bell notification button, and you'll see me next time.